Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing a really exciting video for me. As you guys know, I love the L'Oreal Pro Glow foundation, and they came out with a new foundation. It is the Infallible Total Cover Foundation. This is supposed to be a full coverage foundation with a weightless feel. I was so excited when I saw this and couldn't wait to do a foundation first impression for you guys. I had so many people on Snapchat tell me that I had to do one. I have nearly the whole range of colors to share with you guys. I will be swatching them all for you so you can see the shade range, the undertone, and see if there's a shade that you think will match yourself. I know I'm going to get questions about a few things I'm wearing. My earrings are from Pandora. I always wear these. My necklace is from Fashion Nova. My sweater, off-the-shoulder sweater, is from Misguided. They come in so many colors. I still want to do a Cyber Monday haul because I picked up a ton of these. And then my watch is from Daniel Wellington. It's the classic black one. I have a coupon code. I believe it expires this holiday season. It's By Cheryl and it will save you 15%. So if you're interested in the Daniel Wellington watches, it's a non-affiliate code that expires soon, but that is the watch I'm wearing. I will also be doing a demo on my skin as well as a wear test like I typically do for all my foundation first impressions. So if you want to see how this foundation performs, then just keep watching. Here I have 11 of the shades of the new L'Oreal Infallible Total Cover Foundation. This launches in Canada December 20th. I will update the description bar if that happens to change. From the information I have on hand, it is December 20th. I know a few people have been picking this up on Amazon though, so you can definitely check there to see if you can get your hands on it. But I have 11 of the shades to share with you guys. I believe there are 12 in the range. And I will be swatching them all for you, doing a wear test, my typical kind of foundation first impression on this. If you watch my channel, you will know that the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow is my favorite foundation of all time. The matte version of that didn't work for my skin, so I didn't care for it personally. I do have dry skin, and the Pro Glow, out of any foundation, high-end drugstore, it's my favorite. So I was really excited to try this because I'm hopeful that this is going to be a new favorite as well. I do love full coverage and it claims to have a weightless feel, so that's pretty much perfection to me. I also heard that this is supposed to be a more affordable version of Dermablend. If you guys know that full coverage foundation, this is supposed to be the drugstore alternative to that. So I'm really excited to try this. So let's get to color matching myself. As I said, I will swatch these all for you. You can see the shade range that they have going on. In the Pro Glow, I was 205, so I'm going to start off with that one and see how it matches. I do have a little bit of fake tan on, so we'll see how this one goes. I'm actually a lot darker. The 05 in this one is actually a bit too light for me, so we're just going to go down another shade. 6 looks a little pink, and 307 might actually be my shade, so we're going to try that one. It still looks kind of light. Watch it be the shade I don't have. I don't have 308, which is, you know, it's probably going to be my shade. Which is funny, I have all the other ones. After trying out a bunch, I think I'm going to go with number 309, which is Caramel Beige, which is going to be my self-tan shade. Now I'm just going to prime this side of my face to see if that affects the foundation at all. And then I'm going to leave the other side free from any kind of product and just purely use the foundation. I use primers mostly for pore filling. I don't find I really need primers for extending the wear of my foundation. I feel my dry skin kind of just clings on to foundation pretty well. I'm going to use both a brush and a beauty blender to see if I prefer the application one way or the other. I'm going to use the beauty blender on this side of my face. The coverage is instantly there. As you can tell, I'm obviously matching my body as opposed to my face, which is much, much lighter. I think I'm honestly going to have to mix a couple shades. Right off the bat, I'm not finding my shade, which is a little disappointing. We're going to make it work though. Because of the texture and consistency of this foundation. It's a little bit thicker. I do actually much prefer the Beauty Blender for this. So I'm just going to continue to use that. I can tell right away that I just like the moisture that the Beauty Blender adds to this for my skin type. Because this foundation is so full coverage, I find you really need to be good at getting that color match, else it's going to look pretty obvious. One layer looks amazing. I wouldn't even want to set it. I think this is the perfect finish. In terms of color from the foundation packaging, I would never have thought to pick up this shade for me personally, which is 309. I am mixing a bit of 307 in it, but just by looking at it right here, the packaging is definitely a little deceiving for the color, because I think it comes out quite different. So definitely test in store before you buy, or look at swatches to see what you think will match you. Because if I were to have randomly ordered online, I would have ordered wrong. So that's how the foundation looks on the skin. I really love the coverage and the finish. I'm not going to have to set this at all. I feel like if I did, it would be a little too dry. This is pretty much the perfect finish for me. The shade selection is kind of hard in my opinion, but other than that, right now I'm really liking it. So I'm going to go ahead, finish off the rest of my face, then I'll come back and talk a little bit more about the foundation. Hey guys, I'm back. As you can tell, I did a full face of makeup. I wanted to do something glam to go along with this full coverage, and this is definitely really full coverage. I didn't even really need to conceal at all because this is so full coverage. Even for underneath my eyes, I found that the only thing I needed was maybe a little bit of brightness if I wanted that, but in terms of covering anything up, I didn't need anything. It's super full coverage. So if you're looking for a really great facial concealer as well, this would be really good because you get so much product. You need such a little amount. A little goes a long way, and it will cover anything. It's very, very full coverage. As you can see, this foundation covered everything on my skin. So I'm really impressed with the coverage. In terms of how this looks on my skin, I love how it looks. It's super full coverage and you don't need a lot. However, if you have very, very dry skin, it's going to cling to dry patches. If you have any kind of dry patches on your face, it will cling. Just warning you, I have dry skin, but if I do good skin prep, it's not really an issue for foundations to cling on me if I take a really good job at prepping my skin. However, I know I neglected around my mouth, so I can see a couple spots where I feel like it's clinging to. So if you do have dry skin, you can definitely still use it. I think it still looks really great on my skin. However, I have to do a better job at prepping my skin next time because I do notice a couple areas which I missed. I said before that I wasn't going to set it. I still didn't. I did my whole face of makeup. I didn't set it at all. So this is the natural finish that it has. It says a natural finish. It definitely, I believe it lives up to that claim of being a natural finish. It says it wears up to 24 hours, which I won't be testing because I don't sleep in my makeup and I'm not going to stay up that long, but I will try and wear it as long as possible. I started just before 9 o'clock, so we will see how long I can wear this for. The coverage says it's high and the texture is air light. It definitely feels light on the skin. I feel like it feels a little bit heavier than the Pro Glow in my honest opinion. However, it does still feel very light on the skin, full coverage. Love the finish. I only needed one layer to have my desired full coverage. So a little is going to go a long way. This is going to last me forever pretty much. And I think it would make a really great concealer. I'm going to go about my day, do a few check-ins throughout the day to see how it is wearing, and I'm also going to do a flash test right now to see if there's any flashback with this foundation. It doesn't have any SPF that I'm aware of. However, I will still test the flash for you guys. I actually do feel like there's a little bit of flashback with this, because my face is a little bit lighter than my body when I take the flash. So it's not horrible, it's definitely noticeable. You can tell between my shoulder and my face that there's definitely a little bit of a white cast there. So just an FYI, if you planned on using this for any kind of flash photography, there was a slight bit of flashback for me. When I look up closely, the difference between my primed and unprimed side, I think a primer actually is hindering it. because it looks a little bit drier on the places I applied my typical primer. So for this, I wouldn't even need to use a primer, which is kind of nice because I can save a little bit of money. That's usually the opposite with most foundations for me, but I find actually it looks a little bit better on the unprimed side. I don't think there's anything else that I need to talk about this foundation, so I'm just going to go about my day and check back in with you guys in a couple hours.
Oh, you make me wanna talk back to you. Say it like that. If I hate you, then find someone new. Baby, but you know I never will. No, so I choke you down just like a pill.
Hey guys, I'm back. So you just saw how the foundation wore throughout the day, and I'm really impressed with how it held up. I think it held up really well. I feel like my skin reacted really well with this foundation. I felt it actually kind of looked better as I wore it throughout the day. I did find this transferred because I didn't set it at all, especially around my hairline when I touched it. I feel like you can kind of see my skin peeking through along my hairline just because I'm always doing this. So it does transfer, however, I did not set it, and I was outside, got caught in the rain a little bit, and it comes off pretty easily, just so you know. It's not waterproof or water resistant or anything like that. Overall, I feel like this is definitely a foundation I think a lot of people are going to like. Those with very dry skin though, if you know that foundations cling to your skin and even when you prep your skin you still have an issue, then I would steer clear for those with very dry skin. I do have moderately dry skin and I can still wear it. As I mentioned earlier, I didn't really prep around my mouth and I can see some patches that clung to the sides of my mouth. And it would be like that wherever your dry patches are. That is just one of my concerns, is for those with dry skin. For those with oily, I think you're gonna really, really love it. And the color selection was something that was hard for me actually, which I was surprised by because when I was going darker, the undertones weren't matching up for me. And it was just a matter of finding my shade, which I felt like I had to go quite dark. And the undertone was off when I did get the shade that was dark enough, so I had to mix a couple shades. Maybe 308 is my perfect shade and I just didn't happen to have it, which if you're similar coloring to me when I have a tan, do let me know if that's the case, and I'll have to go pick that one up. Otherwise, I'm actually quite happy with the performance of the product. Do I like it more than my Pro Glow? Probably not for dry skin. I loved that I only needed such a small amount and it went a long way. And the amount of coverage I got off just one layer. Typically, I always double up on my layers. If you watch my channel, you know I usually apply 2 layers of foundation to get the desired coverage I want. This I would only need 1 and maybe a little bit of spot concealing. Even that, I didn't really need to. And I didn't even need to use an under eye concealer because I don't have severe darkness underneath my eyes most of the time, and this covered everything I personally needed it to. So it's actually quite a quick foundation for me to throw on if I want full coverage. So there is a ton of really great things about this that I do like. So overall, I think it's a really great foundation. I would recommend it. I only had the 2 issues, which was my color match. I found it a little bit difficult for me to pick out. And for those with dry skin, just a word of caution if you're going to try this out. Though I would encourage you to. This isn't like the Pro Matte. The Pro Matte I couldn't wear at all because it was just too matte on my skin. This is a natural finish, which I 100% agree with. It looks just like skin, just with a full coverage. So definitely recommend checking this out. It was a win for me, for sure. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what other foundations you'd like me to do a first impression on next. Leave those in the comments section below and I'll check them out. And I'll see you guys in my next video.